I've lived in this house for almost 10 years now. A quiet place far from the city noise, surrounded by deep, dense woods. It was supposed to be peaceful, but something is out there, and whatever it is, it's watching me. The first signs. At first, it was little things. Strange noises at night, branches snapping when there was no wind, footsteps crunching in the underbrush, always just beyond the tree line. My dog, Max, started acting strange too. He would stand at the edge of the yard, staring into the woods, growling low in his throat. I tried to convince myself it was just an animal, a deer, a stray dog, maybe even a coyote. But deep down, something felt wrong. One night, as I was locking up the house, I heard something. A voice, faint, calling my name. I froze. It came from the woods, soft and distant. At first I thought it was my imagination, maybe a trick of the wind. But then I heard it again. "Come here." My stomach turned to ice. I slammed the door shut, locked it, and left every light in the house on that night. The figures in the trees. The next morning, I went to the edge of the woods, just to check. I found footprints, not human, not animal. They were deep, longer than my own feet, and the toes were wrong, almost claw-like. I took a picture, but the moment I looked at it, I felt sick to my stomach. I deleted it immediately. That night, I woke up to Max barking like crazy. I grabbed a flashlight and ran to the back door. Max stood stiff, his fur bristling, teeth bared at something in the trees. I pointed the light toward the woods, scanning through the shadows, and then two glowing eyes, high up, too high to belong to any normal animal. I stumbled back, heart hammering, as the eyes blinked, and then they vanished. Max refused to come back inside that night. He just sat by the door, watching. Something was in my house. A few nights later, things got worse. I woke up to the sound of my back door creaking open. I sat up, barely breathing. I knew I had locked it. I was sure I had. Slowly, I reached for the baseball bat beside my bed and stepped into the hallway. The air was freezing. I listened. The house was silent, too silent. I stepped forward, and my foot hit something wet. My stomach clenched as I looked down. Muddy footprints. They led from the back door, through my kitchen, and stopped right outside my bedroom. I didn't sleep that night. The thing in the window I installed extra locks the next morning. I even bought security cameras and set them up around the house. I thought maybe that would help. It didn't. The cameras kept glitching. Every night, around 3:14 a.m., the footage would cut out for exactly 13 seconds. And every morning, I'd find more footprints. One night as I was checking the footage, I felt it again. That terrible, suffocating feeling of being watched. I turned slowly toward the window, and there it was. A figure. Tall. Too thin. Pressed against the glass. Its face was wrong. A mouth too wide. Eyes too large. And it was smiling. I couldn't move. Then, it tapped on the glass. Just once. A slow, deliberate sound that sent a shock of terror through my whole body. I scrambled back, knocking over my chair, and when I looked again, it was gone. The final warning. That night I packed a bag. I was ready to leave, forever. But before I could, Max started barking again, louder than ever. I ran to the door, gripping my bat, heart pounding. Then I heard it. A whisper, right outside the door. "Don't go." Something scratched against the wood, slow, deliberate. I didn't wait. I grabbed Max, ran to my car, and peeled out of the driveway. As I sped away, I glanced in the rearview mirror and saw a tall, shadowy figure standing at the edge of the woods, watching. I never went back. I sold the house a month later. I never even went back for the rest of my things. I don't know who bought it, but sometimes late at night I still have nightmares. And in them, I hear that voice, soft, distant. "Come back."